Very excited here the day before Thanksgiving to be joined by Marc Hochman. He is short on time. He has a meeting. He has a breakfast. He has a meeting with avocado toast is what he has. He also has an interesting shirt on. We have a big announcement to make. I'm very excited about this. I have no idea what the announcement is, but before we get to that, Marc Hochman, what is that shirt you are wearing today?
I'm so glad you asked, Stugotz. I like to consider myself kind of the mini Darren Rovell of tchotchkes.
Right.
You know, Darren Rovell, he has the largest collection of MLK memorabilia in the world. I happen to like Darren Rovell, by the way, Northwestern guy. You
yes.
Like
your kind of guy, no doubt about it.
Totally my kind of guy. He gets ripped online. I love him. I can't get enough of Darren Rovell.
Yes.
And he did this whole story the other day on social media. He got, this, Taylor's too young to know, and you're probably just too fried to know, but you remember DB Cooper, the old the guy DB Cooper, he like stole a bunch of money and then jumped out of a moving aircraft. He's never been found, something like that. It's an old story.
Seems like my kind of guy. But
regardless, Darren Rovell bought the airline ticket this week of the person who was sitting next to DB Cooper. And I can't imagine that anyone found that interesting other than me. I was like, wow, well, that's interesting.
No one else knows who DB Cooper is.
Yeah, this is like from the 60s. He's like, oh, I got the airline ticket from the guy sitting next to DB Cooper. Anyway, I bought this McDonald's breakfast Thanksgiving shirt. I don't know how well you can see it on the screen. Can you see it well?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
It's like a breakfast special for Thanksgiving.
Wow.
And I was the lucky purveyor of this shirt. Again, I'm a mini Darren Rovell.
Right.
Anyone can buy it. Just search it on vintage. Any vintage. And Instagram pretty much knows what I want to buy.
You don't need to announce this anymore. No one is clamoring to take the lane of the mini Darren Rovell.
You see the hotcakes?
Yes, I see it. 1998 Thanksgiving breakfast.
And it says Thanksgiving. Yes. So I wear this once a year. Like the anniversary of Kobe's death. May he rest in peace. Mm-hmm. I think Darren Rovell dresses like Kobe. He has a game-worn jersey and he's got shoes and so for me, the day before Thanksgiving, because this would be ridiculous attire for a Thanksgiving meal. So for me, the day before Thanksgiving, I wear this shirt and I try to, it's a great I don't know, party starter, if you will.
Tchotchke. Yes.
A tchotchke.
Mini Darren Rovell.
I'm a mini Darren Rovell.
Listen, if you could do it all over again, like did Darren Rovell steal your lane? Like if you could choose one person's career in the media, would it be Darren Rovell's?
Yes, like nonsensical stuff. You're 100% correct. If I could do that, well, there's two things that I would want to do. I want to cover food courts the way that Barry Jackson covers media.
Oh.
He's just got his hand in everything.
You want to hand in every food court?
I love food courts, always have. I would do that. But Darren Rovell has my kind of thing, which is you wake up in the morning and it's like, you know what I would like to get? I'd like to get the pencil that Ali Sheedy was holding in Breakfast Club during detention.
That's a pencil, by the way.
And that's it, but that's his day. And I love that. I really do. And I know he gets heat for stuff like that, but I'm like, that makes he's probably going to spend, I love Uncut Gems. You watch Uncut Gems?
No.
Greatest movie of all time, top 10 movie of all time. But Adam Sandler, Howie.
This is the one that has Francesa in it, right?
Yes.
The Pope.
Yes. A brilliant cameo by Francesa.
Yes. I heard he was great. Yes.
Yeah. The movie's great. But Sandler's got to track down this opal from Ethiopia. And he spends over a year trying to get this opal from Ethiopia. And that's what Rovell does with the beret from Ferris Bueller's Day Off that Matthew Broderick was wearing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Adam Sandler was doing that because he saw $1 million payday at the end. If I can get one of these opals. And Rovell does it, and it's really just for fun. But he he wakes up in the morning and he's like, you know what? I got to get the beret that Matthew Broderick was wearing in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And where do I start this journey? and he goes out and he finds it. He gets it. Right. I kind of did the same thing with this Thanksgiving t-shirt. You've never seen anyone wear this before, right?
No, never.
Right.
No.
So I started my search. I was on Instagram and it found me. Wow. And I bought it.
It bought you.
Yeah. And I've been wearing it the day before Thanksgiving many, many years.
Okay.
So it looks like Uncut Gems got a 52% on Rotten Tomatoes from the audience.
Uncut Gems is so unfairly maligned. Right. Another thing that
what was the audience score? Because I don't care what the fucking critics have to say. If the audience liked it, they liked it.
The critics gave it a 91%. The audience gave it a 52%.
Okay, so in this case, I side with the critics for Hawk.
You know why? Because the audience are a bunch of pussies. Yeah. Everyone, whenever I talk about Uncut Gems, they always go, "Oh, it's a tough watch. It's too tense. I'm on the edge of my seat the entire time," and that's what I love about it. Yes. But another thing that Rovell and I agree about. Rovell says clearly Adam Sandler got robbed of an Oscar nomination for that movie, and I 100% agree. Right. His acting in that movie was phenomenal. And you know who else was great in that movie?
Who?
Kevin Garnett.
Whoa, wow, big ticket. I mean,
playing Kevin Garnett.
Wow, a cameo. I mean,
but it's not a cameo. He's a co-star. He's Kevin Garnett, but he just plays the role perfectly.
Right. Angry, starting fights, but never actually finishing the fight.
Great. Yeah. I'm telling you, that movie, top 10 movie of all time. That's not even shtick. Top 10 movie of all time.
I think the objection to that movie was Sandler, who's a comedian trying to take himself seriously, right? That was
it was his first endeavor into a serious role for sure, but it was believable. A lot of times that stuff doesn't work,
right? And
it worked with him. That movie's phenomenal on every level.
So Rovell has the lane, but the lane of food court review is something that I would like. You should take it. It should be yours. You should go to different food courts. You should give everyone a review. Stick your hand in all the dishes. Get a free lunch.
Or like I'm also trying to be the Portnoy. I'm trying to be the Portnoy of avocado toast as well. It's very similar characteristics. The undercarriage is important, but the undercarriage, like avocado toast, there's a lot. I mean, one bite. Everybody knows the rules.
Listen, Taylor, if you had Hawk, at the Boca Mall, and he is taking you around a food court and giving you a review, is that not something you'd be? I'm being dead serious here. I would be glued to that on a weekly basis. Can we get it done?
I mean, you'd be in heaven.
Yes.
So my go-to
be in heaven. Yeah.
My go-to at food courts is always sesame chicken. So if Hawk had a database that said, where can I get the best sesame chicken in food courts, I'd be all in for that.
Yeah. So I do have a take on any food court chicken, sesame chicken, bourbon chicken, all the chicken where they flop it onto the plate and there's a bed of rice there.
The bourbon chicken is always the free sample though, right?
Bourbon chicken, you can usually fill up on that just walking in circles a few times if you want. But I may have done this bit. I can't remember if it was on the Le Batard show or not, but I have a take on that, which is there is no better chicken than sesame chicken, bourbon chicken, honey garlic chicken at a food court if you eat the entire piece all at once. So you're going to have, 9 to 12 chunks of chicken, right, on that plate, Taylor? It's going to be about 9 to 12 chunks of chicken. And they're going to be glazed in the tangiest, most tasty glaze you've ever put your mouth on.
Yeah.
But if you cut that piece of chicken open, you're going to see beaks, talons, feathers. You're going to see meat that you didn't know chickens had. Because, spoiler alert, the food courts are not known for buying high quality chicken. So if you can eat each chunk, now every now and then, correct me if I'm wrong, Taylor, you'll get a chunk too big to eat on its own.
Yeah.
It has to be cut. That piece has to be brought directly to a garbage can.
He's right.
You cannot open the food court chicken in, again, unless you like a beak, a talon, a feather. But what you see inside that piece of chicken is going to startle you.
Yes, you don't want to see the insides, right?
You don't want to see the insides.
Every time I order the sesame chicken, I enjoyed it in the moment, but even when I'm eating it, I'm like, I know I'm going to regret this in like 10 minutes.
Yes.
Well, sure.
Yes.
It's hard to digest beaks.
Talons. It's a great take. You have to go directly to the garbage.
You want me to see if I can get you guys one of these shirts?
Yeah, please do.
Next year, we'll all wear these shirts the day before Thanksgiving.
I love you very much. I'm excited for whatever our next project is. I know we've spoken about it on the air, and I know we're supposed to launch it on Monday. I just don't know what it is. So why don't you tell the audience and Taylor what it is, and me, what it is that we're going to be doing 3 days a week, a brand new podcast. Very excited.
Correct. We are excited, and it's with Stugotz and Hochman, which is the actual big voice open to the old show. When I put my name on the show, finally, much to the chagrin of Dan and Stugotz, when I put my name on the show, the big voice, it was the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz and Hochman.
Yes.
Now, I would have called it with Stugotz and Hoch.
Right.
But more proof that I didn't just unilaterally put my name on the show. But regardless, we're going to use that same audio. And when we announced this, because we have mentioned this a couple of times when we had Frank Caliendo on, we talked with him about it. But on Instagram, I have received, because what I said was DM me whatever you want to hear me and Stugotz talk about from the old days of the Le Batard Show, because we want to relive some of this stuff. I've been pulling some audio. I've been sending a lot of it to Taylor. I mean, stuff that's like so niche, but real old fans of the show get a kick out of it, because I know I have. I have gotten so many direct messages from people who are saying, hey, here's what I want to hear you guys talk about. And it's stuff that like you would go, huh? But I'll read you a couple of DMs. Just listen to your intro for the upcoming Le Batard Memories podcast. You had already left the show, but I went to a meet and greet at a sports bar where the promotion was Dan and Stugotz and Colin Cowherd. Got to talk to Dan for the first time, and he had no hesitations about his opinions of the herd. I was wondering what your and Stugotz's encounters and relationships are with that guy. I'll hang up and listen.
All right.
I didn't know that you, Dan, and Colin Cowherd had done an appearance.
This is the first I'm hearing of it. Was it good?
Here's one. As a person who fell in love with the entire I Gotta Tell Ya 4-hour compilation on YouTube 2 years ago, living in Wisconsin, I want stories about that and all the things you and Stugotz did to piss off Dan.
Oh, God, there's plenty.
But did we ever intentionally say to ourselves, hey, let's piss him off? Or was it just our personalities are so grating after a while that he couldn't.
That eventually we're just going to piss you off, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Anyone that's around us for any long period of time, because when we do, and we'll do an episode on it, but when we did, I Gotta Tell You, and I Got News for You, and I'm embarrassed to say this, but it was, I thought, funny. That was like a funny, clever radio benchmark. He turned on it at some point, and I don't know why.
He hated it, and probably because it featured us way too much.
Could be. That could be. It was another lane for my spreading my wings.
But in fairness to you, it was a great idea, and we were just trying to create a radio show, a sports radio show, with Dan's direction that felt different, that didn't feel like everything else. And I think what you and I kind of stumbled upon early on in working together was there are just a few catchphrases in sports radio. Like, I got to tell you.
I got to tell you. You know what? Now that you say that, I think Dan had said something along the lines of, anyone who starts a sentence with, I got to tell you, something boring is coming up, and it's nothing that needs to be prefaced with, I got to tell you. And I think you and I were like, no, if you say, I got to tell you, that's an attention grabber. You follow that with something important. And that's actually where like the food court chicken thing would come in, Taylor, where it would be, I got to tell you, food court chicken is delightful, but never cut the piece open.
Right. I got to tell you, is one of the building block phrases of sports radio. And so, like, it really is.
Right.
And we just turned it into a funny segment and made fun of the fact that people will say, I got to tell you, it's kind of like what I'm trying to do with Taylor right now, because I think another one of the building blocks of phrases of sports radio, Hawk, is when someone says, you can't. You can't. And I want to start a segment called You Can't. Like, Clayton Kershaw goes out, World Series game, throws a stinker. You can't call yourself the greatest pitcher in the game and go out and do that. He loves you can't. He's in. Yes.
You can't. That is a great sports radio phrase. That's a great sports radio phrase.
You can't.
One of the best parts about the I Gotta Tell You, just as a quick side, is that Stu's was always just something that he had said 20 minutes before in the show.
But yes. Yeah. But not trying to actively piss Dan off. I mean,
right. And it was really all he had to say was, I got to tell you, I'm not prepared for this again. That really could have been the punch for
come out of
2
nowhere,
years worth of that. Somebody DM me on Instagram. Don't underestimate, because I had said when we were talking about this, I don't know how many people will get a kick out of this or not. You know, us doing a podcast with Stugotz and Hochman. And somebody DM me, don't underestimate the degenerate South Florida radio listeners. You guys are South Florida legends. What you all did locally, and you're still doing it, was truly generational. You know firsthand, the listeners are some of the craziest, wildest, and most deplorable people in the nation. They were also some of the most witty, creative, dedicated, and loyal people in the nation. I moved to Hialeah from Oregon in 2004. That's obviously when we started the show. I ran a Greyhound kennel at Flagler in Hollywood. I don't have to tell you what a culture shock it was going from Portland to Hialeah with no prior knowledge of anything Miami. $7.90 the ticket back then was my keyhole to everything going on in South Florida. Can't wait for you guys to relive some of those moments. And that's what everyone wants. Here's a DM. Request for the Stu Hawk podcast, everything about Wani McStashes. I remember hearing about it at the time and being from Minneapolis, so I was incredibly jealous because it was such a great idea. Somebody DM'd me, Sam Snead, my God, can you revisit Lombardo with Stugotz on the new podcast? We will do that.
Yes.
So there's a bunch of DMs. You can DM me. I'm super active on social media. It's Radio Marc Hochman on Instagram. If you want to DM me stuff that you want to hear us talking about, because I know we're going to wrap it up.
And it could be new stuff too, by the way.
It can be anything, because we've talked about doing the Mount Rushmores of different sports radio markets. I mean, we just like shooting the shit, obviously. But there's like some Lebitard show stuff. And again, it's Radio Marc Hochman on Instagram. If you want to DM me stuff that you'd like to hear us reminisce about.
And if you want to DM Taylor, it's at Stugotz 790.
Well, that's why I didn't. I don't think do you ever check social media?
I can't access my social media. Taylor has all the passwords.
Because yesterday I got a tweet from someone that said, what happened to your podcast with Stugotz?
Mm-hmm.
And I responded, Stugotz happened.
That's a fair response.
Because this was supposed to start like early November. Right. And I wrote Stugotz happened. And it got 1 million likes.
Of course.
All the old Lebitard listeners were like, you know, everyone had the, of course.
Right. They all understood at once. Yeah. Had nothing to do with you or Taylor.
But if you DM me, someone had DM'd me on Instagram and it said, and I know I sent Taylor the sound, but we'll do an episode on this. It's so macaroni.
Oh, God.
Do you know what that's from?
No, I remember the phrase.
Remember the phrase, right?
We were fascinated
with that phrase for a while at the beginning of the Lebitard show. We would punch everything with, it's so macaroni. Do you have any idea what that's from?
Hawk's connection has dropped. Dan cut the line, but it's the perfect cliffhanger. It is, Taylor, the perfect cliffhanger to find out next week what "it's so macaroni" means and where it came from. And I don't know how he remembers it. I really don't. I have no idea. So, Taylor, we're going to start this. It's going to be 3 days a week with Stugotz and Hawk. The first episode is going to be Monday. So if people want to subscribe to the new podcast, you're going to create a feed. They'll be able to do so probably by Friday. Definitely by Monday. Is that fair?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So Hawk's internet went down. I'm excited. Taylor, you're excited about this. You love Hawk. You have grown to love Marc Hochman, haven't you?
Yeah, somebody not from South Florida originally, and
yes,
maybe didn't have the natural on-ramp to listen to some people talking about Miami sports specifically.
Yeah.
It was kind of the perfect entrance and being like, hey, people can talk about sports in a fun, different way.
Right. All right. So tell the audience again the title of the show, and they need to subscribe, rate, and review for me and Marc Hochman. It is with Stugotz and Hoch. Is that what it is?
Correct.
Okay.
And we're creating the feed.
Okay, and we're creating a feed. We don't have a feed yet. We're in the process. Taylor's in the process of creating a feed. It was jarring, the guy who moved from Portland to Hialeah. I can't imagine what that was like to him. And we weren't intentionally trying to piss Dan off, but now we are.